brothers, but not by birth. Family, but not by DNA. Dave and Adam are two of a kind, and they wanna borrow some of your day to talk into your ear holes about midi-chlorians and roller coasters. Those two things are unrelated, but so are they. They're unrelated at birth, like most people who aren't related. Unrelated at birth, but they're brothers in a brotherly way. Now it's time for the phenomenal brother and the golden voice of the South. They're brothers from different mothers, but they're both really proud to be unrelated at birth.
Hey, Adam.
Hi, Dave.
Last week we recorded with Shelby. And
we did.
Shelby didn't know what Stan meant. She had to ask one of her friends what Stan meant.
Yep.
I just solved it.
Hit us with it.
I'm going to hit you with it once I pull it up.
So we discovered through a Google search that it's a combination of the word stalker and fan.
Right.
And please make sure the reference you're about to share with us is family friendly, Dave.
I'm going to find the edited version.
So if you combine those two.
What's the most, when you think of Stan?
I think of South Park. But you brought up a different Stan.
And this is from our era. Why didn't we think of this?
I really haven't heard this song much. So, okay, it's a song about a stalker and a fan. What's his name?
Stan.
Oh, mystery solved. All right, there you go.
Okay.
So you solved it. Mystery solved. Now everyone in the sound of our voice has learned useless trivia today.
Golden voice of the South, Dave Adams.
Yep.
The human jukebox. All the way from the top of
It did stick.
It stuck, but the other nickname is still here. I am the golden voice of the South, which, by the way,
Yeah.
funny story. So I tweet into our local sports talk show a lot, and they call me. They realize that my name is D Adams, but my Twitter handle is Dadams. Dadams. They call me Dadams.
Yeah.
But so I have on there the golden voice of the Southeast. They called me the golden voice of the Southeast on the show.
Did they really? Oh, yes. That makes it official. Now someone actually in mass market media has called you that.
Right.
So, I love it.
I am the golden voice of the Southeast. You, on the other hand, are the phenomenal brother.
Unofficially, because I haven't had anybody in mass market media call me that.
Technically, I have been in mass market media before.
Oh, okay. So someone who used to be in mass market media has called me that.
And I'm calling you the phenomenal brother. You're Adam Russell.
That's me. Thank you.
All the way from the House of Mouse, St. Cloud. And I have my podcast juice.
Fantastic.
Very, very apropos, I'm drinking Russell's Blend.
Oh, very nice.
So good. Once it hits your lips, man,
Once it crosses your palate. Oh, yes.
So, speaking of palate,
okay.
We have to do our unofficial Magic Candle Company Scent of the Week. Dave's Scent of the Week.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor
yet. Okay.
Magic Candle Company, come on board, buddies. Buddies, come on.
Buddies.
Buddies, friends, pals.
What is the Scent of the Week, pray tell?
So last week we were talking Mickey's Not So Scary.
We were.
Made me think of when you first walk into Magic Kingdom. You turn that corner there under the railroad tracks, and the first store you look at right next to the hat shop,
the confectionery,
that great sugary confectionery. Today's scent of the week is the confectionery.
Fantastic. I thought you were going to say sweaty tourist, the first thing that hits you when you get in the Magic Kingdom.
No, that's Brazilian.
Dave, the confectionery. What notes are you picking up with that one?
Sugar, cotton candy.
Cotton candy. That's
So
basically
good.
it then. Good.
So, if you're listening to this episode, we are recording this a week in advance. If you're listening to this episode, I am just 2 days away from being at the... Dang it, not the House of Mouse.
No.
The House of...
The house that Jurassic Park built? I don't know.
No.
The house that Steven Spielberg built.
There you go. The House of
There you
Steven
go.
Spielberg. The House of Screen Rides.
That's
So,
funny.
there you go. I'll be in Orlando. We'll be hanging out. We'll be going to Halloween Horror Nights. And
It's so good.
Is it? See, I'm jealous of you because you've been
Yes.
and I haven't been,
I have been.
and of course I've watched videos because that's what I do.
Spoiler man.
Oh, I am. I love spoilers.
Yeah, you are.
But the one thing that I am so looking forward to now is I mean, I've already watched the walkthrough of this house 3 times.
Come on, man. So you've watched the walkthrough.
Are you a god?
Dave. Are you a god?
When
So-
someone asks you a god, you don't say no.
So you couldn't save one? Have you watched all the walkthroughs? So okay, how about this?
No.
Since we can, yes, you have. Yes, you have. I see that look on your face. But so having walked that one, my first reaction after going
Okay.
through it was that you have to have seen it to piece everything in your mind and put it in its proper place. I think, and I think it's showing in the wait times being lower for it than Stranger Things a little bit. And yes, that is an accurate statement.
Let me ask you this though.
I think what we're finding is that it's there for our generation, like a lot of things are these days. I'm looking at you, Funko Pops. They're there for our generation, but they're not really. It doesn't really resonate with the younger folks because Stranger Things is their thing. That's going to be their Ghostbusters. 30 years from now, Stranger Things will come back as a pop culture revolution for the teenagers of today, like Ghostbusters was for us when we were kids.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
First off, which soundstage is Ghostbusters in?
Ghostbusters is where Stranger Things was.
Not my favorite place.
The queue right in front of the whole stage and everything.
I was not a fan of where Stranger Things was last year
Really?
because it seemed like the soundstage was a little smaller.
Yeah, I think you definitely feel the size. I think what you feel in size, though, they used it to their advantage because a lot of the effects and a lot of the jump scares are closer in. So I think it makes what wouldn't have been a scary house if they were further away. It actually gives you that element of surprise because things
know-
are so tight.
I was really hoping
Yeah?
that they put Ghostbusters where Poltergeist was last year.
Yeah.
Because
With that big entryway and all of that.
Well, yeah, you had to walk through New York.
Yeah.
And go the very opening of the movie, the opening of the house,
Yeah.
is the New York Public Library.
And that's at the end of that street. Yeah.
Right.
But and then what used to be the Ghostbusters firehouse.
right,
is
exactly,
there, too.
which is now
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon. But
Yeah. Yep.
still, I mean,
Yeah.
that should be where it is.
Yeah, they pulled it off really well, though. I think the thing that I like the most about it is and I said this a few times on the live videos, it's like the human interaction that they've got.
Yeah.
Like, when you walked through Stranger Things last year, and you go into the Upside Down, or right before you go into the Upside Down, there was the sheriff that popped out, fired his gun, and just said, "Go," and then he tucks back behind the corner.
Right.
There are, and you've seen the walkthrough, there are Ghostbusters in the scenes.
Right.
And Janine or Melnitz is out in the scene, right?
So
And
the
they'll
thing-
actually look at you and interact with you.
Yeah, the thing about Janine is that she doesn't have a script.
No, she doesn't. But she's
So
using
she-
lines from the movie and incorporating
Right.
it into what she's saying to you, you know. Like, she
Yeah.
looked right at me and said, she was doing this whole thing where she was on the phone and she was making up a conversation. That she hung up the phone, looked dead at me and said, "I haven't been paid for overtime in 2 weeks," which is what she says at some point in the movie or something like
Right.
that. But I think the human element of that scare zone and the other ones that I went through, I went
house,
through two
not
other
scare
ones.
zone.
Oh, sorry, houses that I went through, and even the scare zones. I don't know, and I have a feeling it was because it was media night.
They were on their
And I think everybody was on their P's and Q's and on their game, especially in the scare zones, because I was walking through with my iPhone on like a little tripod kind of thing. I think a lot of it had to do with that. But I had a full-blown conversation with one of the scare actors in Zombieland about, are you a zombie or not? And are you sure? And which way did you come from? I think it's only safe if you go that way, and like this whole thing. And I don't think that's anything you got a chance to do, especially in Killer Clowns, which wasn't my favorite scare zone last year.
Well, last year I think we called it at a shift change because you and I sat there and
but I went twice and it was the same kind of thing.
Yeah, but we sat there. We even studied the smoke machine.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, this is a smoke machine. It's a fog smoke machine. It blows the bubbles, and the bubbles
it was a bubble fogger.
Right,
Yeah.
and we sat there for 20 minutes probably looking at the smoke machine. We're dorks, we know.
We are dorks, yes.
But, I mean, we could have walked up to one of the clowns and started interacting with him. I mean, Tiny with the boxing gloves and all that stuff. But I guess I need to watch that movie before we go through the house in a couple of days.
It's on YouTube right now with ads. It's free.
Well, but it's also on Amazon Prime for free as well.
Oh, is it on Prime? Okay.
Ads. Yeah,
okay,
it's on
cool.
Prime. So you can watch that. But I also need to watch Us.
Yeah, I have to catch up on that one too. I'm not as excited about that one. I don't know.
I mean, I've heard good things about it, though. I've heard people say that's one of their favorite houses.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's surprising for me with the initial reaction is everybody's coming down really hard on the scare zones.
Yep.
And nobody really seems jazzed about much. Like, I haven't seen like a positive, oh my gosh, this was just the greatest thing ever, like I think people had with some of the stuff last year. I thoroughly enjoyed, so I did Ghostbusters, I did Yeti, Terror of the Yukon. For some reason I thought it was Appalachian Yeti. So I think I might have said that on one of the live videos. But then I did Yeti, that one, and Nightingale's Blood Pit. And Ghostbusters sentimentally was awesome. And it was true to the movie and great to walk through. And it would make you jump at times.
It won't make me jump.
But no, it will make you jump because you've watched it 86 times. You know exactly what to expect. And you're 8 feet tall like the Yeti, so you can see everything. And then you'll be saying, hey guys, here comes the thing. Anyway. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I got out of Nightingale's Blood Pit. I think I texted you.
Yep.
And I called Blair and I said, I cannot wait to take you through this. And she said, that means it was really scary, doesn't it? I said, yeah. There were so many opportunities and the way they worked the angles, the way that they pulled off that house. Oh my gosh, man. You throw a puppet like that at me in the middle of a house, and I literally stopped for a second and looked at it and literally said out loud, that is so cool, in the middle of a friggin' haunted house. So
here's what I wish that I could do. And this is something that I wish that we can make it, quote unquote, big enough. Scare Zone, Tim Tracker, WDW couple level, that they would invite us to do one of these walkthroughs, because they do a walkthrough during the day with the lights on.
Yeah.
I'm going to this thing. Yeah, I'm okay about horror. Like the last couple of years, I've gotten into horror movies a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But the reason I really enjoy Halloween Horror Nights last year and watching what I've seen this year is the production value.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're walking through a movie set.
You really are. And I think that's one of the reasons I know that Logan and some other folks aren't really crazy about a lot of the new IP houses, because they're like Ghostbusters, where they're not truly scary. It's not like Halloween Horror Nights of old. Oh yeah, Ghostbusters isn't a good example for Logan and him not liking it, because he totally loves it. But the tone of Halloween Horror Nights changing. I think it moves more into you're walking through movies now. Like it doesn't have to be a horribly scary demonic thing anymore. It's the experience of walking through a movie. It's the same reason we had the escape game on the show a few weeks ago. An escape game, you are basically on an interactive movie set.
Right.
Working your way through a story. It's the same thing with Halloween Horror Nights. That's one of the reasons I like both of those things so much, is you are in it, and in the middle of it, you're not watching it on a screen or with 3D glasses on or on a car strapped down. You are actually literally physically having the same interaction, even if it's not exactly the same, you know? And so that's what I love about it.
It feels to me like... Okay, so I'll watch the Stranger Things house.
No spoilers, please.
Well, I'm going to say this, and this might be a spoiler, but I'm sorry. No, listen. No, Adam, come on.
I don't want to be spoiled on Stranger Things at all.
I'm sorry. They go from no, Adam.
Go ahead, say it.
Okay,
say it.
They go from 2 to 3, and there's no break.
Yeah, I have heard that too.
And I don't like that. Like, I wish that they would have done 2, and then next year we get 3. Because, and I think I've said this on this pod. No, I might not have said this on this podcast. I said it on the Free on Your Birthday site. Stranger Things 2, Season 2, wasn't good to me. It was a stopgap between 1 and 3.
Wow. Okay.
2 was okay, and it moved the story along. It gave Elle some human aspect. But in the house, you go from Elle closing up the upside down to them fighting. What's his name in the sauna?
Okay, yeah, Billy.
Billy, yeah, go from closing up the upside down to
so it
fighting
basically
Billy in the
jumps.
sauna.
It basically jumps to. It skips over most of the story of 3 to almost the climactic parts towards
Right.
the last few episodes. Yeah,
Exactly.
Like they tagged it onto the end.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, wait, here's 3. We got to throw them all in here.
Yeah.
I'm not okay
Yeah.
with that. And then I heard of the news today that we might be ending Stranger Things at 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not okay with that either.
I am. We've had that conversation before. I don't like things like Lost, where I felt like 2. I really enjoyed 3. I'll say that right now. I really enjoyed 3, but I felt like when she closed the gate, 3 was like, how can we extend this story? It's so popular and continue to make money. Let's have the Russians try to open it again, because that's an 80s trope that we haven't used yet. And here comes some Russians and a dude who's like the Terminator, and the guy who's a lifeguard at the pool, like, you know, all these movies from the 80s. I hope at 4, I would love for them to close it off, because I don't like shows like Lost, where they go so long that the ending stinks because they dragged this thing on for too long that nothing makes sense anymore. I don't mind them. I would actually like if they ended it at 4, and that's the story of 11, and maybe now you pick up the story of 26.
But Elle is the last one.
Well, I'm just saying, like, not necessarily even within the same universe, but a story along the same lines. That's something that's now Stranger Things 5 is not the same story at all. It's a completely different story arc that's just as good. Because if you go 4 and then you go 5 and then you go 6, it's just going to drag on forever. I wish a lot of TV series would end after 3 or 4 seasons and just close off the storyline.
See, I'm not okay with that. I like to, like, Big
Did you
Bang
like
Theory.
the end of How I Met Your Mother?
No, but
Exactly. If they would have just have him meet her at the end of season 5, they could have just ended it and moved on.
for every bad, I give you 12 seasons of The Big Bang Theory, and it was awesome all 12 seasons.
Yeah.
I give you Cheers. I give you Frasier. I give you, I can go on and
Seinfeld
on.
was good until the last episode.
Until the last
was just
episode,
weird.
right. They're all in jail. What the crap? Anyway,
They were finally held accountable for all the dumb stuff they did. I don't know. That was the excuse they gave. But
I know.
anyway.
But
Anyway.
so back to my point
Yeah.
of walking through the movies. When I, watching things like I do,
Yeah.
I wasn't totally excited about the Universal monsters. Mm-hmm. Because to me, it's Frankenstein, Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, Swamp Thing, Wolfman. There was one that I was missing. And
Dave.
what was I the most excited about when I texted you?
Dave, I literally can't talk about this. I have angst over what you told me you were going to do. Mm-hmm. I have angst over it, Dave, because it's
What
so
is this?
cheesy.
What is it?
It's so nerdy. It's Phantom of the Opera. You can't.
Help me make the music of the night. Close your eyes and I'll take you to...
You can sing it on here because, except for last episode with our pact, your singing on the show has become a trademark of our show. You are not singing Andrew Lloyd Webber songs in the Phantom of the Opera scene in the haunted house. Else, Dave, you are walking through it with a party or two in between us. Oh, God. I can't. It's so cheesy. It's so bad.
Touch me.
Stop it.
Feel
Stop it.
me. Anyway. Come on, man.
No. It's
You
not
get
Andrew
to
Lloyd
walk
Webber's
through the
Phantom.
labyrinth.
Yes. But not the
Underneath
labyrinth that
the
Gerard
opera
Butler
house.
is in.
No. No. Gerard Butler was a good one.
Yeah, but it's not his Labyrinth.
He's not Michael
It's not
Crawford.
his movie.
He is not Michael Crawford.
He is not Michael Crawford, but it's not Michael Crawford's Labyrinth either.
Yes, it is.
It is from the 30s. It is not. We are not singing.
You aren't.
Oh, man. I've got to find a way to separate for that house.
Put Blair in between us.
No, I'm putting like Blair and like 16 other people in between us. And when everybody comes out of the house, I'm like, who the heck was that guy singing the songs in there? Like, I have no idea who that was.
What are they? From Wisconsin?
From Wisconsin. Minnesota. That Phantom of the Opera House, the only thing scary in there was the dude singing. Oh, man.
Heightens each sensation.
Okay, here. You've watched the house. You've seen the walkthrough.
Oh, yeah.
Does a chandelier fall on anybody?
No.
Then you can't sing the songs. Because it's not the show. Anyway, Dave, what other houses are you looking forward to? Like I said, I did 3. I thought they were all good. I would rank them. I always separate the IP from the originals, though. I never rank them together because you can't.
You can't
So,
at all.
and the only thing I can rank is having done 2 originals. I would say Nightingale's ranks above Yeti.
Really?
Yeti was good, but it was just kind of, it's like riding Matterhorn. It's the Yeti around a corner every so often kind of thing.
Right.
Whereas Nightingales, I felt like, well, I don't know, because Yeti did have some human elements that were pretty good too. But I would rank Nightingales above Yeti so far.
Wow. Okay, so that's the first one I've heard say that. I've seen 2 or 3 people say that Nightingales was their least favorite house.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
One of our mutual podcast friends.
I think that it's all about who you go with, though, because when I went through Nightingales, there was a party with girls in front and a party with girls behind. And when they scream, it is the funniest thing, and I enjoy it so much. I think it has something to do with that.
I think that's why you and I liked Blumhouse so much last year.
Oh, that was great.
Because we were with a group of girls that just screamed
They lost their minds.
bloody murder the whole time.
Yeah, it was good.
So if we're talking about an IP house I'm looking forward to,
Sure.
of course it's going to be it's going to be Ghostbusters. I'm probably going to go through Ghostbusters 2 or 3 times if I can. And I know you tell me that it's not the Phantom of the Opera. The Phantom of the Opera is here. Anyway, I know you're telling me it's not Phantom, but I am looking forward to Universal Monsters.
Yeah.
But then when we talk about non-IP houses, I'm actually looking forward to the Graveyard Games one.
Yeah, I am too.
I mean, just by what I've seen, that seems to me like that is this year's Carnival, whatever it was last year, or the Slaughter Cinema.
Oh, Slaughter Cinema was great. Oh, I absolutely loved that house.
Yeah, it seems like that's going to be this year's kind of dark horse.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. House of a Thousand Corpses, I can kind of give or take.
Yeah, that's kind of like Blumhouse to me.
Yeah, we'll do it just because we're going to do all of them. Mm-hmm. Killer Clowns, I mean, I'm going to laugh the whole time in there.
Oh, yeah.
How is that supposed to be scary?
I think that's the point, though. It's like Ghostbusters. It's not supposed to be scary. It's campy. It's
there's
supposed
only-
to be reminiscent.
Wow, we're sounding like those people now. There's only supposed to be one campy, and then the rest kind of, you know.
Yeah, but anytime you have Killer Clowns, that's your campy one.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
And then Depths of Fear. Watching the walkthrough, it's not as scary as I thought it would be because the monster kind of looks like, you know, those glowfish that have the messed up teeth that have the little thing dangling.
Yeah, anglerfish.
That they look like an anglerfish. So
Is it anglerfish? Hang on.
anyway, we know what we're talking about. That's the one that I'm not looking forward to the most. I mean, that's the made up house, the non-IP house that just kind of I had high hopes for because I thought it was going to be underwater. I figured they were going to make somehow that you're underwater.
Yeah.
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
What season? It was a Matt Smith Doctor Who when they
Oh yeah, they were in that underwater.
Yep.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that.
Oh, cool. Okay. I mean, I can get behind that.
And they're trying to get out of this thing before something catches
does
them
a thing.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I think like you were with what was it last year? Patient Zero.
Right.
Like you were with that one. I think Us is the one for me this year that I'm looking forward to, at the least, not because of the content, because I think it's going to be pretty good content, but I don't know, psychological things I think are scarier than just someone jumping out at you every turn. And I keep hearing people say, how are they going to pull off that House of Mirrors scene? And if they pull off something like that, that could really hit you. But I mean, that's the one that I just don't know enough about to feel comfortable. I mean, they don't. Okay. Thanks, Dave. Now I feel better. But I tell you, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so I was expecting a fun house type room.
Yeah.
No, that is the house I will jump in.
See, I'm telling you, man.
There is
a room
just tell
in there because of the story.
There is a room in there where it's a...
No spoilers.
Okay.
I'm not a spoiler guy.
Okay.
Don't tell me.
You will pee your pants in that house.
I'm
will pee her pants.
I'm
in that
very
house.
glad we're going twice, though, because it's exactly the same thing that ended up happening last year. Is the first time you go through, you jump and you look and you laugh and all that kind of stuff. The second time you go through, you start to pay attention. Mm-hmm. The third time you go through, if you get a chance to do it more than once, you pay attention to everything.
Right.
Because you're not just trying to get through, not screaming or getting scared. I know you won't, but you're not going through just going through. You're going through like not worrying about anything around you because you know what's coming and you can see all the little stuff. And so that's what I'm glad we're going twice, because it'll give us a different perspective. I think like it you don't often get if you go once. I'll tell you what I'm the most surprised though by all the feedback that's coming out is how down people are on the scare zones.
See, after seeing the scare zones, last year the scare zones seemed like a party to me. Vamp 85 was a party. The Chucky was a party. Like, you sit there and laugh at Chucky.
Nah, the Chucky thing wasn't. Oh, I mean, that was okay.
Yeah. The one scare zone that I just thought was garbage last year was the one at the very beginning where it was just like, here is the house of Halloween.
Oh, yeah,
Here's what the set looks like.
And they were just people like in hay, like they were covered in hay or scarecrows and stuff like that, yeah.
You know what's more frightening to me than what that was?
What?
The stupid tree lady at the front of Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
That scares the pee out of me.
That's funny.
That was more frightening to me than what that...
Well, An Arcade, I think, is cool. The one this year where you go in, it fits the theme so well with the arcade machines and the neon masks and the kind of stuff. I think it's just cool more than it is scary, right? But when you go to, like, Vanity Ball... What I think, it's all in the details, right? It's all in like what you want to pay attention to and how much you want to get yourself into the story they're trying to tell with a scare zone.
Right.
Because when you walk through Vanity Ball, there are people walking around in hospital gowns that have pieces of their face missing. Like there was a dude that had makeup on that looked like he didn't have eyes.
Is this so there's this character that has a physical defect that works at Universal. Mm-hmm. You and I saw that last year. Last
year she didn't have an arm, and she was supposed to be a broken ballerina.
Like she seriously does not have an arm.
Yeah.
Like that's her.
But no, this is like makeup.
I wonder if she's in that.
She might be. She might. But it's all about the face. Like there's two groups. There's three groups actually. There's like these surgeon guys with these weird like neon masks walking around. Then there's patients in hospital gowns that are missing something from their face, and then there are people that have something added to their face from those people. So the whole Vanity Ball idea is that if I don't like my eyes, I can go to this doctor and they'll find somebody and take their eyes or their nose and give it to me. So if you get into that story, it's really creepy. It's like that Twilight Zone episode where the lady goes to get plastic surgery and they do the big reveal at the end. But in the middle, what was so creepy about that one, and I'm not trying to say anything about any group of people, but what was so creepy was this runway in the middle. There's this guy at the top, very flamboyant, almost Hunger Games-ish kind of character, and he's narrating a fashion show. And the people who are walking around that have had noses added and eyes added and a different chin and all of this are walking the runway, and he's talking about what they're showing off. And it just kind of, I don't know, it's like they're showing off what they took from people and stuff. So if you put yourself in that, it's actually a really cool scare zone. Now, is anything going to like jump out at you and scare you or anything like that? Is it ghoulish or devilish? No. But story-wise, it's actually pretty cool when you actually let yourself. I walked through it probably 3 times just kind of absorbing it.
Right.
And it was really neat. So.
And that's part of what I like about this quote-unquote new Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
It's not family-friendly, but what I don't like about haunted houses is the gore, the ghoulish,
exactly.
the satanic. I don't want a spiritual warfare.
Yep.
Because that's real.
Yeah.
Don't mess with that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Ghostbusters, come on. Stranger Things, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Universal Monsters, come on.
Yeah.
You know, none of this stuff is real. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Graveyard Games is the closest that you can possibly get.
Yeah.
But what I've heard, what I've seen, is there's a storyline. And it's truly, they've thought this through. Like, it's almost a Haunted Mansion style thing. I mean,
that's what I thought when I first saw the synopsis, yeah.
Right, and then I've read through the house. I mean, it's kind of be nice to your elders. Don't go F up things that you shouldn't be effing up type stuff.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a spiritual warfare house. Maybe House of a Thousand Corpses.
Maybe.
But that's
Rob Zombie. And I think you see a little bit of that in their scare zone, too, is it's very, when you talk about it not being family friendly, there are dancers in leather and a big thing that lights up that says 666, and there's those little pentagrams. And I mean, you know, there's a little bit of it in there. I think for me, though, I'm hearing a lot of people say they really didn't like that scare zone. And even you were kind of meh about it. I think the thing about walking in there is it's so freaking loud.
Right.
When you walk through there with the music, and it's unlike anything that you or I will listen to or put ourselves into in our daily lives, right? But I'm talking about like the lifestyle and you know, and it's just like the pyrotechnics and all of that. I think it feels like a rock concert walking through there.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's why, again, not anything if you're a Halloween Horror Nights aficionado of all of the things they've ever done in the past. If you just let yourself enjoy it, it's actually a pretty cool area. I think the funniest thing, and in the footage I got that I want to make a YouTube video out of for our channel, there's this stage and it has the 666 thing flashing behind it. There's an electric chair and a lady who's dressed like a cop, but in like a skimpy cop kind of way, right? And she eventually throws the switch. There's a 11 or 12-year-old kid standing next to the stage while she's doing all of that, and he's just like, he has this look on his face like, what is all of this? You know? So it's definitely...
Who brings an 11 or 12-year-old?
I know, right?
Not just to Horror Nights, but your opening night of Horror Nights.
But to opening night, and then you're going to walk through a Rob Zombie skin. I mean, you're opening his eyes to this kind of stuff, you know.
Right.
Like, but it was just fascinating that people had that. Young kids, I saw probably kids Aiden's age or younger. Not a lot, but a few.
That's dumb.
But I don't want to beat the scare zones to death. I think the only one that I would say is the Vikings Undead probably leaves a little bit to be desired, but that's always the smallest area.
Right.
The characters are pretty interactive. I think the stuff they're wearing is too bulky, kind of like Killer Clowns, for them to do any meaningful interaction. They're just kind of lumbering around a little bit. But Zombieland... What was
that one last year?
That one was Cary, Ohio. And they had all the pumpkins in the trees.
Yeah, and it was stupid.
And the dudes on stilts. Yeah, it was the same thing. It wasn't anything where they were jumping out at you, but it was like the pumpkins had flesh and they were rotting and stuff.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, that was like the Banshees. And they came out at you. And that, I mean, it was dark. It was the scary one.
Exactly. But I'll say the only one that we haven't talked, I think, in any detail, Zombieland, right? Mm-hmm. That one felt like Vamp 85 to me.
And that's where it was in Vamp 85.
It's the same one. You have zombies walking around and people walking around who are trying to run away or defeat the zombies. And every now and then they interact with each other and they do other stuff. It felt a lot like Vamp 85. There just wasn't like the rock concert stage and all of that. It's a little bit different window dressing. But I think, again, if it's all about what you're going to let yourself get into. And if you let yourself just get into the story and accept the story and put yourself like, what if this was really happening around me? Then, it gets a little creepy, you know. Yeah. But just walking through it, if you're walking through it on your way to go ride Mummy or the next haunted house, you're probably not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, and I think last year you and I didn't really know how to do Horror Nights.
No.
Because we did it. We were going from house to house to house to house to house. We didn't really take it all in.
Yep.
And I think this year, splitting it up in 2 nights, I think doing the trip like I did it last year, I did the Logan and Bart special.
Yeah.
I was down there for one night and I flew back the next day.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm taking my time this time because you have to, unless you have Express Pass, you have to do it in 2 nights.
Well, me and Blair went. It depends on time of year. I mean, in October, that's definitely the case. But I think if you can do Stay and Scream and get probably this time around, if you can get Stranger Things out of the way up front and wait for Ghostbusters, then you're going to be okay. But Stranger Things had a 2-hour wait like the entire night, and Ghostbusters was down to 30 minutes.
So,
I'm just telling you because the thing we've got to remember too is when we go the first night with Blair, we're going to have to hit everything the first night. Now you can go do something else, but unless she opts out of a house, we're going to have to hit it that first
Adam?
night. So,
Adam,
yeah,
who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
What are we dressing up as? What are we cosplaying?
Oh, I'm so excited, dude. That's the best. We're the dad Ghostbusters.
Are we really going to do this?
Yeah, we've bought all the stuff. We have to now. So we have. We'll send you guys. We'll make sure you guys see pictures. We have tan Columbia fishing shirts.
Actually, I've got a Magellan.
A Magellan, same thing. The PFG shirts that are almost the same color as the jumpsuit, and we have custom name patches. One says Russell, the other says Adams, and a Ghostbuster patch to go on the arms. We're going to look like we're wearing the jumpsuit, but we're going to be comfortable in the Florida heat. It is the perfect Halloween costume.
Realized?
What did you just realize?
We can't wear khaki shorts with that.
Yes, we can. You have to because it's supposed to be a jumpsuit.
No,
Dave.
I will not do that.
Yes, it's supposed to be a jumpsuit.
I've got gray
you are.
shorts.
No, you are. We're doing it.
Are we doing that Saturday night? Please say Saturday night.
We're doing it Saturday night, yeah.
Okay. Because Sunday we're hoping to meet up with some other people.
Oh, we're doing it Sunday too. What are you talking about?
No.
Those patches were like $20-$30, man.
No,
we're doing it both nights.
It was $5 each.
Don't lean away from the mic. Come on, speak up a little bit.
Okay, it was $5 each. I've got to rep Scare Zone one night, and I'm going to wear my Scare Zone shirt one night.
All right, then you're doing it Sunday because when we go with Blair, we're wearing the shirts. Okay. I may wear it both nights, just FYI.
See, I bought Ghostbusters shirts. Like, I bought a shirt where the ghost glows. Mm-hmm. I bought that to wear into the Ghostbusters house. Like, I was going to do the Ghostbusters shirt one night. And
you are. You're doing a Ghostbusters shirt one night.
Remember that Venkman shirt I have that had slime all on it? Mm-hmm. That you said I shouldn't own?
Yeah.
See, I could have just worn that one.
No, this is much more fun, Dave. You have a personalized Ghostbusters name patch.
Fun.
I think it's hilarious.
It's cool. See,
you're not a fan of it. You're not standing this, are you? You're not a stan of this idea.
Days gone by, I wonder why.
Okay.
Anyway,
what were you
here's
say?
What's funny. When I was 6 or 7, I actually had a Ghostbusters jumpsuit.
Wow, it wouldn't fit today.
I had the blow up, plasma ray guns and all that stuff.
I used to have the proton pack. My aunt finally found one, I believe, at a Big B.
Big B.
Pharmacy.
Big B.
Yeah, I had the proton pack and everything too, man. Now we can relive those glory days.
I'm not going to wear khaki.
You are wearing khaki. We'll talk this off the air, Dave. But yeah, that's the whole idea. They wear a tan
navy shorts.
They wear a tan jumpsuit from their shoulders to their shoes.
We are not going to look like Steve Irwin.
You're not looking like Steve Irwin. You're looking like Ray Stantz.
No, Ray Stantz wears pants.
No.
Yes, he does.
They all wore a jumpsuit.
Right, they wore a jumpsuit, not shorts.
You can wear whatever shorts you want. I'm just telling you right now. I cannot believe that you're embarrassed by wearing khaki shorts with a tan shirt. No, you're obviously a little bit embarrassed or we wouldn't be having this conversation. Adam, yet you want to sing Phantom of the Opera at the top of your lungs in the middle of a scary house.
First off, Phantom is not scary. Even the Universal Monster Phantom is not scary.
Okay. You still want to sing in the house, Dave.
Yeah, I do.
But you won't wear khaki shorts.
Okay. Looking stupid and acting stupid are two totally different things. So here's another good thing. I won't be worried about the Bama game during the scare zones and the houses.
No, you won't be.
Because it's a 12 kick.
Yeah.
11 kick for us Eastern or Central folks.
Yep.
But I'll be worried about the Georgia Auburn or the Georgia Notre Dame game and the Auburn Texas A&M game.
No, you won't be. Sign up for ESPN notifications.
No, I have to watch.
Okay. Do what you need to do, man.
I can't go in this house yet. Hold on.
No, that's what we can do. I tell you what, when we get to the Universal Monsters house, you watch as much football as you want. We'll go ahead in, and then you catch up to us so you can sing to your heart's content.
No, sir. You have to go through the house with me.
Then you have to wear khaki shorts.
So if I wear khaki shorts, I can sing as much as I want through the houses? Right behind you and Blair?
No. Just Phantom of the Opera.
No, sir. If I wear khaki shorts...
Then no, please wear navy shorts. If you sing in every house, I'm going to lose it.
Not every house. I don't think I can sing in the Yeti house. I don't know of anything I can sing in the underwater house.
Under the Sea.
Ooh.
And the other one you could sing, I Just Haven't Met You, Yeti.
No. What is scratching in the background? Now it's not scratching.
What, Dave? It was me, sorry. I didn't realize you could hear that.
Yeah, I could hear it. It was on the mic. Anyway, so you haven't given us your overview of these houses. I mean, you've kind of talked about that you've gone through them.
Yeah.
So Ghostbusters, you have to see the movie to get.
For most people who are going with the age group that was there that night, yes. Mm-hmm. They would need to. I think for people like us, we'll totally understand it. I mean, we've seen it enough times where you'll follow it.
Oh, I don't
know that Blair's... I will probably have Blair watch it. I want to show it to Aiden anyway. So I'll probably have Blair watch it because I think she'll get a lot more. Don't know that she's seen it a lot.
Be okay with the library ghost?
Oh, yeah. He's fine.
Okay.
He's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, Ghostbusters, I think that one, it's nostalgic. It's great just because of what it is. I mean, if anybody walks out of that saying they don't like it, then they're being a Last Jedi fanboy. I would say for Yeti Terror of the Yukon, it's like I said, on that one, it was not cold in there, because I know that was one of your questions.
I wanted it to be cold.
They obviously had the air conditioning turned down a good bit. So maybe later in the night when the sun goes down,
when the sun goes down,
there'll be Yetis.
We'll be grooving. So, when the sun goes down, we'll be feeling all right.
So that one,
when the sun
I think the best thing about, I'm just going to keep going. I think that it's like I said, it was a lot of Yeti, you know, but the human parts of that one were what I think got me the most to jump scare a couple of times, because you're not expecting a lot of the humans to do something, but the way that they built the house and the ways they can interact with it and the things they do, they get you pretty good. So that was a good one. I
you
just
didn't
like
jump scare anytime you and I went.
I did.
Not when you and I were there.
Oh yeah, I did. You were just too busy trying to point out everything to notice. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did, but then that one I think was good. Overall, I think folks will enjoy it. And then I think Nightingale Blood Pit. So like I said on that one, it wasn't as much the human interaction or anything like that. There was a little bit of that, but it was just the angles. I think lend itself a lot more. It was kind of like on Poltergeist last year when you went down that tunnel. And there were those folds of fabrics, and you couldn't tell what was a fold and what was where someone was going to jump out, so you couldn't predict. Nightingales was a little bit like that. Okay. You couldn't make that easy prediction, so you get a little more lost in it. But it was good. It's like I said, I called Blair as soon as we left, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited." She goes, "I'm really going to be really scared, aren't I?" I said, "Yes, and I love it." So,
judging by what I've seen,
yeah,
I think her and you are both going to pee your pants.
Good.
In a couple that you haven't seen yet.
Good.
That's just all I'm going to say.
I like it. I like it. I think the other cool thing, one thing that I felt like was a little bit lacking last year was that main strip of food stands that they have right outside of Jimmy Fallon.
Right.
It was like they just had burgers and stuff like that, but they set it up
They
kind of
had
like
the Stranger Things waffles.
No, they did, but there wasn't like food. Like you could get a burger or you could eat waffles, and it was like that was really it, right? But I think this year they set it up almost like Starcourt Mall's food court of sorts, and they had Chinese and Mexican. I got the nachos, and they were pretty good. But they do still have the donuts, which were my favorite thing last year. Is they're hot
the one
and instead of
where it's got the blood.
They had red icing on them last year. This year it's green like Slimer. So a little more palatable this year.
Yeah, good. Hey, by
But
the
they're
way,
hot, and oh my gosh, they were so good. Anyway, yes.
Amanda's in our bedroom.
I can
she's
hear
above-
the footsteps.
Can you really?
I can hear the footsteps.
That's
Did she text
crazy.
you?
No, I just know that she's up there. I can tell. I can hear the footsteps, like you said.
Yeah.
So, not only are we going to Halloween Horror Nights,
Yeah.
so I won the poll.
You did win the poll. And I have to say, no, keep going because I'll make my point in a second.
Okay, I won the poll, and we're going to Disney.
I have to say, based on recent developments, even if you hadn't won the poll, Dave, we would be going to Disney. I have to be honest with you.
Although, I'm a little disappointed.
Why?
I've checked 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
There are no Olga Cantina reservations at all.
No, there's not.
That means that place is going to be packed.
Yeah, I don't know about packed. We'll see about that.
But can you get into Olga's without a reservation?
Oh, Oga's will be packed, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Oga's will be packed. I don't know if the land will be overall because we'll be going on a Monday, which helps.
My wife has already told me I'm not allowed to buy a droid or make a droid.
Really?
And I'm not allowed to go into Savi's and make a lightsaber.
Oh, Dave.
I know.
Dang it.
She says I have to wait until we go in November. I'm not too excited about that.
Yeah.
Because also, she wants me to make a BB unit and not an R2 unit.
A BB unit, really?
I want
Well,
an R2.
I know.
And I also want a red lightsaber.
Why does she want you to make a BB and not an R2?
Because she likes BB units better.
Is she a big Star Wars fan?
No,
There you go.
but my daughter is.
Oh, and your daughter likes BB more than R2?
My daughter likes BB.
See, there you okay.
too.
That's getting to the crux of the issue. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. I notice how
Speaking
you're
of-
talking quieter now that your wife is directly
Yes,
upstairs.
I am. Speaking of crux,
Yeah.
this is totally not on topic,
That's what we do.
but we've heard a new Horcrux news topic maybe the last couple of days.
Yeah, not a premium segue, but I get where you're going.
Yeah, see.
Yeah.
New Harry Potter movie. They're making The Cursed Child.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I am very excited about it, yes.
So you've read. It's not a book, but you've read the
I've read the
synopsis of
screenplay,
the.
yeah.
Yeah, I have as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know how excited I am about it because I think you're going to laugh at me. I think they've George Lucased it up. I think they've kind of gone a way that most Harry Potter fans won't like and don't like. I wonder if this will be J.K. Rowling's, prequel. Will this be J.K. Rowling's falling out with fans?
I think a lot of people felt that way a little bit about Fantastic Beasts, that it wasn't as good as it could have been.
But that's the thing. You're right. The first one was horrible. I'm not going to say horrible.
I enjoyed the first one.
The first one was cumbersome.
Okay, I can understand that.
The second one was amazing.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Dumbledore aged a hell of a lot in 10 years.
Well, and what changed where he went from wearing a smart gray three-piece suit to like these robes and a huge hat?
In 10 years, right.
I mean, wow. But hey.
So, right, does Grindelwald just destroy him that much in the next.
That's why he aged so much.
Fantastic-
And what do you want to bet in the next couple of Fantastic Beasts, he hits him with some kind of Expecto Patronum and it makes him age 50 years.
That would be great if they do
close the
that.
plot hole, yeah.
I mean, that might be J.K. Rowling's Rogue One.
I love how we're comparing that. That's fantastic.
But
who's to say, though, that they won't adapt a little bit of Cursed Child? Because it actually was a pretty smart thing to do, because not only did you release a story, and you release it in London, on the stage, and it sells out almost as much as Hamilton does around the world in the 3 locations where they have it, but you get feedback before you've released a movie.
So you're saying Game of Thrones season 8
without the Starbucks cup? I'm saying that possibly she has an opportunity to shore up some of the points of the story.
See, I think that just the entire storyline of Cursed Child is un-Harry Potter-like.
Really?
Yeah, because Harry Potter was always, to me, the underdog story. And I think Cursed Child is more... So Harry Potter, the whole 8 movies, 7 books, is Alabama in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
We know we can get there. We're Alabama. Mama called. Yada, 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 yada. The Cursed Child is Alabama now. Spoiled. It's ours, dadgummit. You know, Tua's not doing something right. Let's bench him, let Mac Jones. Just trying to find something to nitpick. I think The Cursed Child is just a little... I don't know, almost too scripted, for lack of a better term. I mean, if you're just watching or reading all the Harry Potter movies or books for the first time, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If you're not like me and read spoilers and synopses.
Yeah.
But with Cursed Child, spoiler alert if you haven't read it, if you haven't seen anything, spoiler alert. His son joins Slytherin. You know he's going to go rogue. You know Harry's going to save him. You know they're going to make up. You know everything's going to be okay at the end. So it's almost too tongue-in-cheek. There's no real angst throughout the movie or throughout the storyline.
I think there is, though.
Why?
I think you sat there and you had 7 movies that, while the actors aged where it wasn't believable that they were
8
children
movies.
anymore, right? It was 7 books, 8 movies.
Mm-hmm.
It was all about children who used the tools available at their disposal to make everything okay.
Right.
And Albus has to learn in the story that just because that was Daddy's legacy, you go back in time and all of a sudden things unravel. Right, it's the Biff Tanner scenario from Back to the Future 2, right?
Right, it's been done before.
Every time they but I'm saying every time they tried to do something to change what they were trying to change, it ended up in a lot of cases making things worse or changing things in a different way. And sometimes life is just acceptable the way it is. And for Harry Potter's son to be as angst-filled as he was, and then go off on an adventure of his own to figure out sometimes there's nothing you can do. That was a message that was never shared in the Harry Potter novels. In the Harry Potter novels,
just did?
everything always were, of course, Phoenix tears have healing powers. You know, I mean, everything always worked out then too. The message of this one is sometimes even magic can't make things turn out all right.
You know what they just did?
What did they do?
made Vince Dooley and Derek Dooley.
Just minus the orange pants.
Right.
Yes, you're right.
Lane Kiffin and Monty Kiffin.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
because I think that at the end he's named
Dale
after
Earnhardt Jr. and Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Well, that one's probably the best and most accurate one. But at the end of the story, you know, he's named after Albus Dumbledore and Severus Snape.
Right.
And one of the things Harry shares with him is that you don't have to live up to the accomplishments that those men had to be great. But also, you don't have to live up to the accomplishments that I had as your father, too. Because you're sitting here using the time turner and all this crazy stuff to try to change things. And you don't have to do that to be successful. And I think that's a message that if they can pull it off the right way on the screen, because it was hard to get a lot of it out of the screenplay, to be honest.
Right.
But if they can pull that message off on the screen, I think it could. Be a resounding message for a lot of folks.
I think so. If they pull it off,
there's
the right
hope
way.
in normalcy.
And I think that's
that?
they need to do that the right way. And I'm afraid that J.K. Rowling won't do that the right way because she's gotten very political in her.
It's true.
Backstories. You know, Dumbledore is a certain lifestyle. This person's a certain lifestyle. That's not how you wrote it 20 years ago, J.K.
Well, I mean, there's backstory that adds color and adds meaning, and there's backstory that's just filling in holes for the sake of doing it. And I think that there has been some of the things.
That's what she said.
I think that there's been some of the things that she's done that have just been like when they tease a new book and it's only like a short story.
Right.
There's a lot of those things like that have kind of just drug things along to keep people interested. I think this could actually, as long as they don't make it a kids movie, I think this may even be a Phantom Menace of sorts, in that